With Alexandre Pantoja getting yet another win, we have the one question about the flyweight division. Who can beat Alexandre Pantoja? Because it seems like this dude is just clearing out top contenders, and he is on his way to potential GOAT status at flyweight. People laugh at that idea, but I personally don't think that's something that it should... I mean, like, Pantoja's on his way, but for the people just going, oh no, you're never going to beat Mighty Mouse, I think that's a little bit crazy to say personally. Today, I wanted to take a look at potential opponents left for Alexandre Pantoja to see if or who could possibly take his throne, because this dude seems unstoppable. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Kyle. I am your guy with many YouTube channels. Guys, I want to bring you over to the UFC rankings right now. We have the flyweight champion, Alexandre Pantoja. Now, it is important to note that Pantoja is getting up there in age, so the time's going to come, especially in the flyweight division, where he doesn't necessarily look so good. He takes a lot of damage in a lot of his fights. He pushes his cardio to the absolute maximum. So I don't think that it's feasible for him to continue on for years to come. Like, if you ever get another Brandon Royval fight, I think like a couple years down the road, Brandon Royval absolutely could beat Alexandre Pantoja. So let's take a look at these fighters. I think that both Royval and Moreno have proven that they are capable of beating Alexandre Pantoja, but we know Moreno's not going to get another fight. Brandon Royval, possibly with another win or two, can get another fight against Alexandre Pantoja, but we have already seen these fights multiple times. Amir Albazi, I don't believe has shown to be anything that would give Pantoja some problems. Kai Kara-France is one of those fighters who could possibly catch anybody, but even if this matchup were to happen, I could see, like, let's say Kara-France does land his big shot. Pantoja is not necessarily a guy who's going to go lights out, right? Tatsuro Taira is an interesting one because he has proven, especially again with his last fight, that he is championship caliber. He belongs at the top of the division. And another thing before we continue on is a lot of people have been talking about the flyweight division being dead because Pantoja's running it. I disagree with that completely. There is a ton of talent in the flyweight division. It is miles better than when Demetrius Johnson has been running things, by the way. That's something very, very important to note. Regardless, I just wanted to make that clear because a lot of people have been really dogging on the division. Taira can always find a submission. Taira is still young. Taira is going to continue to improve, and I believe that while I don't believe he would win the fight, I believe the potential is absolutely there. Perez, you kind of have to rely on your power. Asu Almabayev is an interesting one because we still haven't seen enough from Asu Almabayev against guys like Royval, against guys like Brandon Moreno. So from what we've seen right now and the skill set that he brings in, comparing him to the opponents that he has faced, I don't think it's completely unreasonable to see that Asu Almabayev might actually be a contender against Pantoja one day. Urseg already beat him. I will stand on that. Steve Urseg, I believe that was a robbery against Alexandre Pantoja. He is more than capable of beating Alexandre Pantoja. Manel Kape wouldn't do anything. Tim Elliott's one of those really weird ones. He's one of those weird ones. It kind of has like a little bit of a Michael Johnson effect where he could beat anybody, but I think he would put up a fight, but I think that Alexandre Pantoja would ultimately do what he does. Tagir Ulanbekov certainly has potential. Bruno Silva can turn anyone's lights off, but I think Pantoja would survive. Same thing with Charles Johnson. Cody Durden and Matt Schnell won't have anything for Alexandre Pantoja. Now, what a lot of people have been interested in, and Alexandre Pantoja himself, by the way, has called out for Demetrius Johnson. Let's say Demetrius Johnson came back right now. I would pick Pantoja to get the win because Mighty Mouse is out of his prime. He's retired. We all know that fight's not going to happen. But if it was prime for prime DJ versus Pantoja, I'd still lean towards DJ. But I think that would be an absolutely phenomenal fight, okay? DJ can beat him. Talking about the flyweight division, there's a lot of potential. Royval Moreno can do it. Kara-France can get lucky. Taira can do it. Almabayev has potential. Ursay can do it. Ulanbekov has potential. There is a lot of potential, and this really goes to show, like, he's dominating a very, very good division. He keeps getting the one-up on these guys. Now, the next question is he ever going to go up to bantamweight? It really seems to be the case. If he were to clash against Merab, I would pick Merab all day on that one. I think that Merab would be too big. I think Merab would be too relentless, and I think that Merab would do what Merab typically does to opponents. There's the big problem when you come into this, because I think that Pantoja, he's already a little bit smaller, right? He already is. So when you start matching him up against guys like Umar Nurmagomedov, Petr Yan, Corey Sandhagen, I would pick all of these guys to beat Alexandre Pantoja. I believe that he dominates the flyweight division, but I do not believe he dominates the bantamweight division. But in saying that, the bantamweight division, to give him some credit, is literally the toughest division in all of combat sports, and it's not even close. Another opponent that people have been talking about is Davison Figueiredo, potentially going back to flyweight and taking on Alexandre Pantoja. That's tough. Deiveson Figueiredo is at his prime. Assuming that he can make the weight, I know we've seen it before, but I do think that Deiveson Figueiredo would be the guy to beat Alexandre Pantoja. I think he's too big, too imposing in the flyweight division. He'd be too strong. I think that he would kind of bully Pantoja around, and he has the power to actually give Pantoja some serious problems. So what I've kind of convinced myself throughout all this, because Pantoja is shown to be such a dominant champion. I believe that Alexandre Pantoja is doing a fantastic job reigning as the flyweight king. He keeps beating his opponents. He keeps beating his top contenders multiple times. But I do not think he is untouchable. Kind of like where we look at Ilia Topuria and I'm like, who's going to beat this guy? I do not believe Pantoja is untouchable, and that's another reason why it's so exciting. The flyweight division's great. The bantamweight division's great. There are so many great contenders, and the fact that Pantoja's been defending and looking this good and going through these wars really says something, and I think he's a fantastic champion. He is beatable though, guys. I would love to hear what you think in the comments. What opponents would you pick to beat Alexandre Pantoja? Better yet, are there any fighters that you would be confident enough to put money down to beat Alexandre Pantoja? I would love to hear from you in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching the video, everybody. If you want to keep watching the channel, we recently uploaded a video diving into everything that's been trending in MMA this week, from just serious topics to funny clips, all of those things you can check out on the channel right here, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Take care.